Closest to us, Rodrigo Conde Romero, Alex Garcia Puloha, Spanish flying here in the men's pair, also in this men's double. Oh, can anyone touch these two? The Olympic champions, Mathieu Androdias, closest to us with the cap on. Hugo Boucheron, furthest away, been in singles all year, that French double, now teamed up, and outstanding results here. So Athanasios Palapanos, closest to us in the stroke seat, and Ioannis Kalandridis, furthest away in the bows. Almost no introductions needed. Valent Sinkovic, the Croatian strokeman, thumbs up. Nice to see them reacting to the salute of the crowd. Martin Sinkovic in the bows, Olympic champion in the men's pairs, Olympic champion from 2016 in the men's double sculls. Didn't have the best semi-final, got beaten by the French and the Greeks. What will they bring out? Hopefully their A game to this race today.
Greece, Croatia, attention.
Well, as you say, Martin, will the Sinkovic brothers bring their A game, and will they be able to challenge from over here on this side lane as we take a look at the Australians going off? But it was the French who got out and controlled the semi-final when they raced against the Croatians. Here they are on lane 6. It looks like it's the Spanish who've got their bow in front at the moment. We saw, as you said, that Spanish pair yesterday did so well. The Spanish double here just jumped out in front. The Sinkovic brothers going with them. Spain right in there too.
Spanish team really on a high here after that great result in the men's pair yesterday. And Rodrigo Conde Romero, closest to us, winding his boat up in the first part of this race as we clear 250 gone.
Yeah, and that's pretty relaxed looking 44 strokes a minute you saw in that Spanish double.
But the French, the Olympic champions, moving about a canvas into the lead now. They look really dangerous in this race. They just have such beautiful technique. Maybe a little pop on top of the water there with the blade, but really looking steely in the middle of the course with this early race lead. The French will lead this race through the 500-metre marker.
Feels pretty fast already, doesn't it? We're out here through 500 metres. The French have got that half length. The rest of the field pretty much in a line.
Just a second slower than the Sinkovic's when they set that world's best time in Amsterdam. They're over here in lane 6. But can anyone stop this French double? Talking to Mark Prater, the Australian coach of the men's 8 here, he said that the French do have a fantastic sprint finish at the end. They're very flexible in any part of the race, Sarah.
As we ride here with the incredible Sinkovic brothers. They came through that 500-metre marker in 5th. Do they have a response here? Because they really seem to be struggling with these leading crews. But the Aussies now overlap with the French. They've got their canvas overlapping the stern of the French. They've made a move in the second 500 here, coached by Lyle McCarthy, the sculling coach of Kim Brennan, looking after this men's double scull, who came together when Dave Bartolo in the bow seat was actually the spare, filling in for Jack Cleary, but had that fantastic result in Lucerne, which then sealed them as the double to come to this World Championship.
Well, interesting to see how that Australian double is going with the Spanish there up on that far side of the picture. That Australian double got the silver in Lucerne, but here they are in silver medal position. I wonder if they'll be able to hold it. And here we go. That French double have just opened more of a lead in the second 500.
I'll tell you what, we've had some great performances here at the World Championships, but I think this is my contender for crew of the championships. The French men's double scull, coached by Alexis Bessançon, peerless in this event. I think they'll continue to move away from the field. The Aussies, amazing scull from them, Sarah, absolutely brilliant. The Greeks finished second in that semi-final there in the foreground.
The Aussies having a row here, but they're going to have to do that in order to make the medals because the standard of this event is so hot. It looked to me as though the Sinkovic brothers were starting to get themselves back into this race. Do they have something in the second half of the course? But the Aussies currently sitting in second, just trailing the French, but the Spanish starting to come back into this race.
It looks hard work in that Sinkovic brothers boat, doesn't it? I mean, I think they might be able to force their way back up into a medal, but they've got an awful lot to do if they're to do that. For me, at the front of the field, the French, as you say, Martin, just look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so fluid on the recovery, just nothing fussy on the lock. There's hardly any splash when the blades go in, timed completely with the slide as it arrives at the front stops. And Spain trying to push the Sinkovic brothers out of a medal.
And as it is, looking at the Spanish there, they're the highest rating boat on the course. They're already up at 41 strokes a minute. Australia are overrating them. And at the moment they've been able to hold that position. Will they be able to hold it now, Sarah?
Yeah, here come the Spanish. We see Caleb Antill from the Australian National University Boat Club look across to his left. He can see the Spanish coming.
Sinkovic might miss out on a medal unless we see that spectacular finish. We did see it from them in the Belgrade World Cup, but they're off the back coming through the 500 metres to go mark. It's going to take something special from them, and I think they've front-loaded their race, guys.
Well, the Sinkovic's are a special boat, but they've given themselves an awful lot to do. I personally can't see them getting through here to the podium unless something goes wrong in the other boats. I could be proved wrong, of course. For me, it's about the Spanish and whether they can hang on for that silver medal or whether Australia can go again. As it is, Australia are up to 40 now. They're pushing. I think they're coming back on the Spanish.
And we can't see it here, but at the back of the field, Moldova currently sitting in 5th, Greece in 6th, but they're not going to be contesting for the medals. It's these 4 boats out in front of the field. The Sinkovic's look across, but I think you're right, Greg, 250 metres to go. There's too much to do. But here goes the race for the gold, silver and bronze. Australia and Spain locked together.
Boucheron and Androdius, they have a Clearwater lead coming through to the lunch tent. It's the Australians in silver medal position, but Garcia Puloha and Conde Romero are battling, and they're just getting their bows in front of the Australians. This is toe-to-toe to the line, but it's the race for the silver and bronze medals. The Sinkovic is out of it, back here in 4th place.
Well, as we say, France looking good, but what about this move that we've seen from the Spanish? They're up to 46 strokes a minute. They've moved on the Australians. Here we go, coming down to the line.
Spanish even moving back on the French. Isn't this exciting? Australia in bronze medal position. Spain going back on the French as we speak, but France have done enough to come through and take the gold medal. Boucheron and Androdius, world champions, Olympic champions. Spain silver medalist, Australia bronze medalist. Great scull from the Aussies and the Spanish. Croatia, well, the 2016 Olympic champions back in 4th place. Moldovans, great result from them to finish 5th and ahead of the Greeks. Vistoshi Shechikov and Kornusov will be delighted with that finish in the A final. Greece crossed the line in 6th place.
And the Croatians will have to wait for next year to see if they can make it 50 medals at this World Championship, the last regatta of the season, sensationally missing out on a podium finish.
Well, another fantastic